SAGE Men 90-day Rites of Initiation. We're very excited. The brothers here, we give thanks. First and foremost, we always like to give thanks to divine intelligence, the creator known by many names, yet is nameless, our enlightened ancestors and spirit guides and deities, all those who came before us. So we give thanks on this auspicious day of transformation. And so today we're just going to come to you live and direct relative to the SAGE Men 90-day Rites of Initiation live launch. I am the founder, the SAGE Men. We were founded in 2013, and we're doing some great things. We have just an extraordinary process for brotherhood, sacred manhood coming up starting today, actually, on this live launch. And so we wanted to share with you just a little bit about what the SAGE Men brings to the table to our communities, to brothers across the world. I'm very excited. Welcome. I'm gonna turn it over to my good brother, Pastor Talking Stick, to Emmanuel Taylor, our program director.
Say, give thanks. Grateful for everyone who's able to make it today. Thank you for the introduction, Brother Manifest as well. And we're excited that everyone has taken the time to join. We're grateful for the brothers who have already signed up for the program, and for those who are able to tune in today. I want to take a moment just to talk a little bit about the 7 archetypes of divine manhood. It's part of the framework that we use here within the SAGE Men to be able to map our personal development. Part of our goal is to be fully realized as men, to be able to stand in our highest possibilities, and to be complete expressions of divine masculinity in the way that we live out our lives here on earth. And that happens across a number of different categories in our lives. And so we're going to talk just a second about what those 7 archetypes are and how it is that they can show up for us in our lives. So we're going to talk about the 7 archetypes quickly. And so again, these are 7 different divisions of ourselves and the way that our masculinity expresses itself in our lives. And so we'll start at the bottom. So the first is the warrior. We have the tantric, we have the pillar, the healer, the enterpriser, the visionary, and the mystic. From the perspective of the warrior, part of our goal and our path is to explore a number of different faculties within ourselves. One of them is courage. Do we have the ability to confront and to overcome our fears? It's the principle of engagement. When life confronts us with challenges, do we tend to shy away, or are we able to face them head on and move through them to a place of resolution? The warrior also deals with our values. What is it that we're willing to stand up for? What is it that we're willing to fight for within our lives? So during the 90-day process, we're going to be activating that warrior aspect of ourselves. Next is the tantric. This deals with our creativity, our enjoyment. This is our life force energy, our sexual energy, the way that we manage it, expanding it so that it overflows and brings joy and passion and creativity into all of the various aspects of our lives, including our sexual and reproductive and our relationship health. We talk about the pillar. This is a reflection of how it is that we show up in our social relationships, in our families, in our communities. This determines whether we're able to be a good foundation and support, whether our inherent leadership qualities are activated and are being used in service of our communities. The healer is the aspect of ourselves that has the ability to intuit what the best and the highest expression of something is, and to help to restore it to that particular place. And so that involves healing for our own self regarding our nutrition, exercise, having a personal movement practice in our life that keeps us healthy. It involves herbalism, energetic wellness, and being able to extend all of those things, not just for ourselves, but for others that we know and that we love. The enterpriser deals with our relationship to resources and abundance. This is our monetary wealth. And everyone should have a plan and understand what it is that financial success and empowerment looks like. So over the course of the 90 days, we are going to be helping every individual in the program to map out a plan with actions that they can take in order to improve wherever they're starting to get to where it is that they need to be. The visionary. This deals with our capacity for planning, for focus, and for actualization. Can we intuit a plan to be able to get to our goals, break it down step by step, and actually make it happen? So we'll be giving tools and resources to be able to do that, not just in a way that is left brain, but in a way that includes and is led by our spirituality as well. And then the mystic. This is the aspect of self that is expansive, that is tuned into the energy around us, and the spiritual forces inside of our lives. This deals with our relationship with our ancestors and other higher powers, and the highest expression of ourselves from within. And so these are the 7 archetypes of sacred manhood. And the focus of our program is to be able to baseline where it is that we are right now, and in 90 days, make rapid progress in activating all 7 of these archetypes, bringing them online, and being able to express them in our lives. And so today, for the rest of the time that we're together, which is a relatively short time, we're gonna kick off that process. We're gonna be doing some exercises today, dealing with each of these different archetypes. And this is the foundation, this is the beginning of our program, and it deals with purification, getting rid of any false beliefs or behaviors that hold us from expressing ourselves completely in all 7 of these different areas. And with that, I'm gonna turn it back over.
All right, welcome. Thank you so much, Brother Emmanuel, with that great, thorough and comprehensive, sharing of what we offer as sage men. And so the visionary is and the healer are 2 areas that I want to focus on right now. So when we think about life, we think about most of what we experience, most of what we see comes from a vision, whether it's your vision or someone else's vision. We have a phrase in Tai Chi and Qigong: wherever the mind goes, energy flows. And so whatever we're thinking consistently, our habitual pattern of thought, we create an actual life form, an entity, a manifestation that is an extension of our habitual patterns of thought. And so the visionary must be that Heru, must be that hawk, that eagle that is able to see the big picture, have clarity of mind, clarity of understanding, a realization beyond just these 2 eyes, but the 3rd eye, the heart mind, and the belly mind, where you can see an expansive perspective on who you are, what you're here to do, where you're going, and also be able to discern the circumstances and some of the experiences that you, that you relate to on a daily basis through your sojourn, through your process here in this incarnation. And so right now, what we're going to do is just do a little shake and chi exercise. Oftentimes, we have to clear the mind, first of all, before we can get into clarity of mind, clear the mind. So this is just a little shake and chi exercise. We're just going to shake for a few breaths and imagine yourself letting some things go. Take a deep breath in. Again, another deep breath. Imagine yourself releasing what you no longer serve. What no longer serves you. Take another deep breath in. And good. All right. Now, what we want to do now is we want to bring both of our palms here, facing the belly mind. I'm just stand to the side so you can see this. This area right here is called the lower dantian in Qigong and many wisdom traditions. It's just below the navel. It's a powerful energy field that we tune into when we digest the food, but also from a more spiritual and ethereal point of view, from my gut instinct, a sense of knowing, a deep sense of knowing. This has a direct connection to the upper mind as well as the heart mind, the 3 primary energy fields in Qigong, Dantian. So what we want to do now is just have both of the palms here. The centers of the palms are a palm chakra, so a lagoon points where we can receive and send energy. So by having the palms here a few inches away, take a deep breath in and exhale. Have the feet about shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent. Take another deep breath in from the belly and exhale, and just grounding yourself. Another deep breath in. Breathe in and breathe out. Continue. Inhale and exhale. Now maintain your left palm near the belly. I want you to bring your right palm up to the heart. You're expanding this awareness. Take a deep breath in from the belly and tune into the heart. Exhale. Deep breath in from the belly, tune into the heart. Exhale. Deep breath from the belly, tune into the heart. And exhale. Now, slowly bring the right palm down. Now, I want you to have both palms facing here. Now, I want you to tune in to the heart just for a moment. And as you breathe from the lower dantian, I want you to listen in to any message that the heart is telling you in this in this very moment right now, this fertile moment right now. Breathe in from the belly and listen to the heart. Now, I want you to just for a moment think of an I am affirmation that aligns with the next 7-day cycle. The day is Sunday for the next several days, whether that's I am powerful, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am calm, I am loving. Whatever that expression from divine intelligence that comes through you, just tune in. Take a deep breath from the belly and listen in at the heart to the affirmation that comes in. Now we're going to actually expand this energy and hold the frequency by bringing the palms up. Now, when you get to the upper dantian near the pineal gland, I want you to say the affirmation, I am, and express it out. Now turn the palms back. Inhale, condense the energy, bring it back in. Pineal gland, and slowly bring it down the center of the body. Down to the heart, to the belly. Rotate palms up. Deep breath in. Remember the affirmation, the heart. Connect with the pineal gland and expand and express your affirmation. Inhale, gathering that universal energy back. And bring it down the center of the body. And one more time. Breathing in. Tuning into the affirmation and expressing it outward. Hold the palms there. Take a deep breath in. Relax the fingers and just hold that energy. On each exhale, you're going to express that affirmation. Tuning into the quantum energy field, the infinite quantum energy field of the universe that listens to every thought and emotion that we broadcast. I want you to envision right here, right now, the highest version of yourself being the manifestation of that affirmation. What does it feel like? What does it taste like? What are the colors? Who are some of the people involved? Continue to hold that vision. A few more breaths. Allow that vision to unfold organically. And slowly now, bring the palms back. And slowly down the center of the body. As we close out, we're going to gather all the goodness of this vision. When you get to the pineal gland, rotating the palms up, gathering this heavenly energy down through the body, bathing every cell in your being with that vision. Back up and then gathering that vision within every cell within your being. And one more time. And slowly back down. And relax. Now, what we did right there in that simple moment, we did a shaking qigong exercise to just release what no longer serves. This is just a mini version of what you're going to experience, some of the things that you're going to experience. We have to let go purification in order to embrace fortification and transformation. So letting go, then tuning into the heart mind, not the ego mind. In Qigong, we have three primary minds. You have the belly mind, where 70% of the immune system is located. You have the heart mind, which actually sends more electromagnetic impulses to the brain than the brain sends to the heart. So the heart then is the true seat of divine intelligence. And then you have the pineal gland in the upper mind that has expanded visions, and understanding, but also has an analytical mind. So we have to get out of the analytical mind, ego mind, and actually sink in to the heart mind and match that with the pineal gland, and then expand and hold that frequency. And so that is just one of the techniques that was used actually to flow and to co-create this Sage Men process here. That was actually started in 2013. It came through me. It had nothing really to do with me other than I was simply a channel and I listened in with a similar process to what I just showed you right there. So thank you so much, everyone out there, brothers. I'm excited. And the reason being is that every one of you watching right now has a vision, a better version of who you aspire to be. Whether it's making more money, more abundant wealth, better relationships, better health, better family dynamics, being a better father, a better brother, better person in your community, to be more loving in your relationships. And so we must be able to see and expand and hold that vision and move beyond some of the old patterns of subconscious thinking. And so with that being said, we also have to be rooted and strengthened in this process. And then that's where the warrior healer comes in. So with that, I'm going to pass the talking stick on to my good brother, Infudishi Khalil Maasi.
Peace, everybody. Peace. Thank you, Manifest. Thank you. Peace, everyone. My name is Fidishi Khalil Maasi. Abu Fidishi Khalil Maasi. I am the warrior healer. I will be teaching on the warrior archetype for this 90-day journey that we're taking on. Now, we hear the term warrior used a lot in our society. We hear it associated with martial arts. We hear it used in sports, combat, and all these different areas. But, you know, there's so many ways to define a warrior, and we will be talking about that more as we take this journey. But in its simplest form, a warrior is the pillar and protector of the community. Without a warrior or without warrior societies, we cannot have a functioning community. We cannot have a whole community. We cannot have a healthy community. Throughout history, the warrior societies were the ones that made the rest of us able to have a society, a functioning society. One of the first things that was taken away from us as people of African descent was our warrior societies, so that everything else could be stolen or taken away from us and dismantled. So as men today, in the world that we live in, as we see what's going on in our communities, the mass shootings, young men without direction, all of the issues that are going on, we are in a position where we have to empower ourselves as men and as warriors to take back control of our families, our communities, and our destiny. But one of the things that we have to do first is we have to heal and empower ourselves. And in doing so, I'm going to present to you one of the primary exercises that we will be doing during this journey. All right, so Manifest, thank you for opening us up and shaking us loose, because now we're gonna take the next step. Yeah. So what we're getting ready to do is the primary exercise, and those of you who have studied internal martial arts, Tai Chi, Qigong, know this as standing position, holding the ball, Zhang Zhong. We call it in our system, in our tradition, Uluwen, universal posture. And what we do this for is to empower ourselves, as the human body is a living battery, all right? We are born with a certain amount of energy. Some call it chi, ashe, shekum, prana. We're born with a certain amount of energy. We lose energy as we go forward in life. We disperse energy, we get it back in from certain foods, from the air, from our interactions with other people. So we have to continually feed ourselves and pull this energy back in, all right? So let's start. Again, we're gonna stand straight, head erect. And just start with a slow, natural breath. Inhale, exhale. Breathing from the diaphragm, the Tantien, in the Congo tradition, we call it Tididi, the center. Slowly bend your legs, bend your knees. Step into shoulders, step your feet slightly apart, shoulders width. We're gonna raise our arms slowly. Chest level, heart level. Arms relaxed, fingers relaxed, shoulders relaxed. Feet rooted into the ground, knees bent. And you want to continue to maintain a slow, calm, and relaxed. Deep inhale and exhale. Now, sit lower. And we want to sit as low as possible, rooted into the ground. And we want to visualize ourselves as a pillar. For those of you who are aware of the Kemetic tradition in the Jed column, you want to imagine yourself as a Jed column. Symbol of strength, stability. We want to see ourselves as a pillar or a symbol of strength and stability in our life, in our community, in our family. See ourselves functioning as warriors, not just fighting, but building, creating, protecting, enduring, sacrificing. This posture calls for endurance. This posture calls for sacrifice. This posture calls for suffering. Not suffering in a negative manner, but a manner in which we are suffering for those things that we believe in. You endure physical suffering in this posture when you're sitting in a low stance, such as we're doing now, but it's building you. It's also healing you. Developing you internally, physically, mentally, and spiritually. This is part of the trial of being a warrior, becoming a warrior. Because a warrior is one who also challenges him or herself. So now let's just take a moment for the next 20, 30 seconds or so in silence. Just breathe. Deep inhale, deep exhale. And just focus on the breath. Now we want to slowly lower our arms. Slowly stand up straight. And just let the body relax. Now, depending upon, everyone can relax now. Now, depending upon what your goal is in your training, there are various ways to hold this posture. But the primary function of it, outside of its healing benefits, its physical strengthening benefits, is to challenge oneself, as I said earlier. It is to endure. As my father says, the goal of a warrior ultimately is not the challenge to everyone else, but it's to challenge themselves. We'll be learning more postures, more movements, more philosophy. We'll be talking about archetypes such as Shango, Ogun, all of the various warriors throughout history, modern and ancient, what that means to ourselves, our culture, our people, how we can utilize that today in order to move ourselves forward as men, as people, as community, and as a nation. Peace.
I say. Give thanks, give thanks. Very grateful for that lesson. Very powerful lesson. So my name is Brother Emmanuel, and I will be leading the Tantric Healer aspect of our 90-day rites program, as well as our enterpriser as well. We're going to talk mostly about the Tantric aspect in this particular segment. I'll talk about some of the ways that it connects to our enterpriser and what that means for us over the course of the next 90 days. And as you'll see, all of these archetypes feed each other, right? And you'll notice that there are some similarities and some distinctions that are very significant about the way that we execute these practices and how it can develop different aspects of who we are. So as a part of understanding ourselves from the Tantric perspective over the course of the next 90 days, we're going to be using the principle of circulation as a central organizing theme or principle for all of the activities that we're going to be undergoing around our Tantric self. And this is part of our goal is going to be to maximize our sexual health, our reproductive health, and our relationship health. So that's the goal. And we're going to be doing this by optimizing our entire sexual and reproductive system, as well as the thoughts that we have around relationships and our sexuality as men. So this is going to be a lot, all right? And one of the ways that we can think about it is, all of us know somebody who's really into cars, right? They want to fine tune the engine. They want to get the most performance out of that vehicle, right? If you go to start your car and it doesn't start, there's a system that you can go through to try to figure out what's going on. First, you're probably going to say, all right, is the battery dead? I should check that first. All right, I think the battery is okay. If I turn the key in the ignition, do I hear that solenoid click? Okay, I got a click. Is my starter turning over? Right. All right, then what's the problem? Do I have fuel? Is my fuel pump working? The fuel injectors? Is the fuel actually combusting? Right? What's going? There's a systematic diagnosis that you can do to understand why something isn't working, and then to be able to get it to perform to its highest and best possibilities. Right? And we want to be able to do the same thing when it comes to our sexual, our reproductive, and our relationship health. Right? First, we got to understand how are we supposed to be functioning? Right? Can we figure out what's going on that's keeping us from reaching our full potential? And then how do we maximize? How do we correct whatever needs to be corrected so that we could be that fine-tuned machine that can, deliver absolutely, just perfectly in the way that we want, right? And this isn't just about our sexual performance. This is about the health of our body. This is about how it is that the joy that we create through sexual energy cultivation spills over and gives us creativity and endurance to go through life's challenges, to be able to find creative problems and solutions to problems, and to be able to maximize our health and our benefits. So we talk about the principle of circulation, right? Inside of a car, you got to have gas that's flowing. You got to have electricity that's flowing. Your coolant needs to be circulating. All of those things need to work in order for the automobile to work at its best. So it's the same way inside of ourselves. When we talk about circulation, we're going to be talking about a number of different things. Circulation of the breath inside of the body, as Brother Khalil had mentioned, right? Our breath, the air, is one of the ways that we're able to get more energy into the body. Nutrition is another way as well. We're going to talk about circulation of the blood, right? Are we healthy in general enough that our blood is flowing well throughout our body, bringing vitality and nutrition everywhere that it needs to be? Do we have the right minerals and do we have the right hormones circulating in our blood in order for us to be able to exist at our best and in our highest expression, right? All of those things are important for our reproductive wellness, for our sexual health, and for us to be able to show up and give our best in the context of our relationships. So blood oxygen, blood nutrition, blood hormones, all of those things are critical. We're going to talk about muscle strength, flexibility, and elasticity, specifically in our pelvic floor, our lower back, and in our psoas muscles. So these are all of the muscles that attach to the hip bone, right? This is a critical point of juncture in the body between the lower half of our body, the upper half of our body, and this is the seat of our sexual power. When we sit down too much, right? If we're on the computer, on the TV, driving all the time, commuting, in an office, whatever the case may be, all of those muscles in the pelvic floor, they get very short, they get stiff, they become inflexible, they become rigid, and they lose their strength, they atrophy, right? And all of those things keep that blood from being able to circulate, they keep the energy from being able to circulate within our pelvic floor. And so over the course of the 90 days, we're particularly going to be looking at everything that's happening in our pelvic floor related to those muscles, related to our flexibility and allowing for the free flow of blood and energy in that particular region of the body. This is critical to being able to maximize our health. We're going to be talking about the circulation of electricity as well. And this is core inside of our nervous system, right? Our body has a certain capacity for feeling and for experience. And what we want to do is we want to blow the ceiling off of our ability to feel and to have experience, right? So wherever your limitation is now on a scale of 1 to 10, through the course of this program, we want to bump that up to a 14, 15, 16, 18, 20. We want your capacity for experience to expand. We want the ability of your nervous system to be able to carry energy, to be able to expand. And again, we're going to centralize that first in the pelvic floor, and then we're going to expand the capacity of the nervous system throughout the rest of the body so that we can feel more joy, we can feel more passion, we can feel more creativity, we can have better and greater experiences, and our capacity for carrying them is going to expand over the course of the program. So we talked about blood, we talked about breath, we talked about electricity. We're also going to talk about our chi and our kundalini. These are different types of energy that flow in different parts of the body, and they need to have the ability to flow freely as well. One of the exercises we're going to do in just a minute, going to allow us to start to tap into and experience our energy body. And then we're going to use that experience over time, and we're going to expand it as well over the course of these 90 days, right? So for many of us, our experience with our sexual energy is localized to our penis, or what we call our lingam in tantric terminology, right? And when that sexual energy builds up, it has nowhere to go, and the end result is ejaculation. And then after that, we start to feel tired. We start to feel that energy level come back down, and we may want to snack and just a little nap before we feel like we're revitalized again. What we want to be able to do is expand the body's capacity for circulating that sexual energy. We don't want it to get stuck in the lingam. We want to open up the flow of that energy to the rest of the body, so our entire body has the capacity to experience pleasure and orgasmic sensation, right? This will give us the ability to have both full body orgasms, to have the ability to have multiple orgasms without lowering our energy level. And when we learn how to expand that sexual energy, we can also project that outside of ourselves and into our partners as well. And there's a whole entire world of experience available when our partners are able to energetically experience with us in a sexual way, right? And this will lead to the transformation stage, where we realize ourselves primarily as energetic beings, and we see our energy body as the core of our sexual, reproductive, and relationship experiences, right? So we're gonna talk about circulation of energy in the form of Kundalini and Chi. We'll talk about the circulation of breath, electricity, blood, and even most importantly, we're gonna talk about the circulation of thought, of consciousness. Many brothers have had the experience. You may be in an intimate situation and your thoughts shut down the rest of your body and it doesn't respond the way that you want to. Or you may be in a relationship where there are some difficulties and some challenges that prevent the full expression of your energetic self, right? And so dealing with what's going on inside of our thoughts is going to be core to optimizing our experience in our relationships and in our health, right? And so we're going to talk about the circulation of thought in terms of a number of different things. So one is going to be how to keep our thoughts from hindering ourselves in the moment, but also how we can incorporate transformational thinking that's going to enhance all of our relationships moving forward, right? So these are our goals regarding the tantric. When we talk about the enterpriser, we're also going to be talking about circulation as well. It's just going to look a little different than the way that we think about it from a tantric perspective. When it comes to the enterpriser, we're talking about the circulation of resources in our lives and in our reality. All around us, goods are moving all around the world over freight and over ships and Amazon trucks and through the stores. There's all types of resources that are moving around us and our experiences as well. There are ideas and communications that are moving all over the world within the economy. There are financial transactions that are happening too. Money is constantly changing hands. And so the question is, where do we fit into the flow and the circulation of ideas, resources, and money within the system of exchange that we find ourselves in, right? And once again, how can we optimize that? How can we optimize the flow of resources within our lives and within our experiences? And so if you are currently signed up for the program, this is going to be your first assignment from me. I want you to write down the following questions and be prepared to talk about these when we have our first check-in meeting, right? I want you to begin to analyze for yourself some of the following questions. We're going to talk about two different aspects of this. So one is being grounded, and then the second is how we interact with the circulation around us based on being rooted internally. So number one, are you grounded and rooted in a firm understanding of who you are and why you do what you do? Right? Have you established core principles that motivate your behavior? So you can think about this behavior, your sexual behavior and your economic behavior as well, right? Do you have core beliefs that you ground yourself in that determine why it is that you behave the way that you do sexually, or why it is the way that you do as you participate in the economy? I want you to think about those things for yourselves. All right? Are you aware of your place within the systems of circulation and exchange that are happening around you? Are you positioned to maximize those exchanges? So those are the things that I want you to think about, right? And the next time that we check in, I want you to be prepared to discuss your reflections on how it is that you've grounded yourself and where it is that you fit in to all of the movement and the circulation that's happening in your environment and around you. All right. So we're going to end today from the tantric perspective by doing an exercise that's going to help us to start to tune into our energy body. Like we said, our goal in the end is we're going to be able to project that energy even beyond ourselves to influence what's happening around us in our environment and in our relationships and even in the bedroom. Right? So we're going to do an exercise quickly. This is going to be, maybe for some of you, this is the first experience you'll have with being able to tune into your energy body. Perhaps not, but either way, we're going to be building on this. So this is a core foundational exercise for this 90-day program. We're going to start in a seated position, feet flat on the ground or on the floor. Your spine is going to be straight, standing up nice and tall. All right, we're going to begin just by taking our hands out in front of us. We're going to take those hands, we're going to clap them together, and we're going to start to rub the hands. This is going to start to build up the energy in the body and bring that energy It's what we call one of our reflexology zones, right in the front, in the face of our hands. All right, so we're gonna build up some heat, And as you do this, I'm gonna ask you now to close your eyes and start to bring your attention and your awareness to the feeling of heat in the space between your hands. And we're gonna cease motion, pressing the hands together. And now we're gonna begin to separate the hands from one another just about a centimeter or two. Very small space, but keep your awareness and your focus in that space in between your hands. As you do, you'll notice that sensation of heat starts to fade away, and what's left behind instead is more of a cool, magnetic sensation. We're gonna begin to play around with this energy just a bit. This is actually the feeling of you tapping into your aura. We're gonna take the hands and separate them slightly and then bring them closer together. Separate them slightly, bring them closer together. There's a very small movement, just a couple centimeters in each direction, but I want you to begin to feel the pulsation of the energy and the change in the intensity level as you move your hands away from each other and towards each other. Continue to tap in and tune into that feeling and that sensation. And as you do, try to begin to move the hands a little further away from each other. Try to go as far as you can while maintaining that same feeling and sensation between your hands. As you're doing this, I'll invite you to take a deep breath in through your nose, filling up your abdomen as you breathe in, relaxing the body as you breathe out. I want you to separate your hands at a distance. Continue to keep your eyes closed, and you're going to slowly move your hands towards each other. And take note of when it is you begin to feel that pull, and when it is you begin to feel that sensation between your hands. It might be quite far away. It might not happen until your hands are very close to one another. And move your hands away from each other again. And we're going to do the same thing. Just take note of when it is that you start to feel the interaction between the aura in your respective hands. And do just a couple more times at your own pace. Go one more time. Now, each of the teachers before me made mention of the Dantian, different energy centers within the body, located at 3 different places along our central column, mirroring the spinal column in the body. We're going to do the same exercise. We're going to be projecting to those different Dantians. So we're going to begin by lifting the hands up high. And we're going to bring the hands slowly towards the forehead. And again, you want to start to feel in and see when it is that you can start to feel the energetic impact of your hands on your head. You don't want to get to the point where your hands touch your head. You're going to bring them close and then pull them back again slowly. And bring the hands back down to the head again. I want your focus and your awareness to be on what it is you're feeling, the sensations in your hands and in your head. We're going to lower our hands down to the level of the heart. I'm going to bring them out in front of us. Do the same thing, bringing the hands in at the heart level, and just taking note of when it is you start to feel that energetic imprint and connection. and then moving the hands away and bringing them back. Allowing your breath to be slow and natural. As you do this too, as you exhale, feel free to let your breath out of your mouth. And you can even give that a sound. We're going to bring the hands out in front. Ask you to make a diamond with your hands facing downward. And we're going to bring the hands to the lower dantian. And as we bring the hands close to the body, the thumbs are going to be about the area of the navel, with the fingers pointing down towards your lingam and your pelvic floor. And so we're going to inhale, pulling the hands away from the body. And then we're going to exhale, again, coming close into the body and feeling the energetic interaction between the hands and the body. Again, breathing at a natural pace in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now I'll invite you to take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And then we're going to exhale, relax, placing the hands palm up on the knees. And take a moment just to be present with yourself and any feelings or sensations you may be having inside of your body. Take one more nice deep breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, slowly open your eyes. All right, so this is one of our foundational practices that at this point, if you've done it, you might have experienced something, but you don't know why. Right? But at the end of the 90 days, you're gonna know exactly how it is your energy body works, what it is that you're doing, and you'll be able to use your energy productively and intentionally to be able to bring about incomes in your outcomes in your life, and income as well as it relates to the enterpriser. But we're going to be using this again to maximize our sexual, reproductive, and relationship health, starting with our physical body, moving out to our energy body, and incorporating our spirit. All right, so that's it from my side. I'm looking forward to diving deeper as we move through the program in the future. Thanks, everyone.
We really give thanks for that dynamic presentation by both Brother Emmanuel and Infedishi Khalil. Brothers out there watching, and sisters, for those sisters who are watching, make sure that you tell your sons, your fathers, your brothers, your husbands, the men in your life. But this is a message specifically for brothers out there. We're very excited. We're very sincere about the work that we're doing. All of us have put decades into our practices, and we didn't get here, just wake up as masters or high levels of proficiency in our fields of endeavor. For many of us, you know, we got it the hard way. We had to learn certain life lessons, the shamanic journey of going through certain trials ourselves, certain levels and prolonged periods of purification, where we had to stand up and man up and better ourselves. And then when we healed ourselves, we then were able to actually be of service to others. And so we're very excited. We want to acknowledge all the brothers who are already signed up. Brother Curtis Warren out there from Baltimore. We want to give a big ups to him. I know he's excited and ready to go. It's interesting because I met this brother about 12 to 15 years ago at an event in Washington, D.C. for the sisters, where I did a presentation, some Qigong, some energy healing, and some poetry. And we connected then. We talked at that particular time about doing something like this. So we give thanks for Brother Curtis has come full circle. Also, Brother Chris Williams from the DMV. He's a returnee. He joined us during the 2019 journey, has some major shifts and transformation in his life. I'm excited for the next level of development for him. Brother Amun, a good brother from Ethiopia, but in DC right now, to my knowledge. We're excited to have him. I met him many years ago doing a Qigong workshop, and he was inspired by that, and we stayed connected ever since. We also have other brothers. Brother Darwin, one of our brothers in our circle. He does a lot of cultivation and all kinds of personal development practices. And so we're excited about having him in the fold, and many other brothers who are signing up as we speak. So listen, if you are at all considering what do I need to do right now in 2022 to better myself, to be a better man, to have better relationships, to have clarity of my vision, how I show up in the world, to have better relationships with self, with your mate, the women in your life, with your children, how to be a better pillar, how to win the internal warrior process within, fight the water within, and come out with a W. Make more money, the enterpriser. Across the board, we have ways, we have practices, we have strategies to help you raise your level of understanding, your level of being, basically to level up. So I'm so excited. Emmanuel, how can they sign up?
So if for the brothers who have signed up and for those who have not signed up yet, if you have already paid your deposit, we still need you to fill out a registration form. That registration form can be found at the link that I'm providing. And so if you're here on the Zoom call, you're going to see a link has just been pasted in the chat. If you're on the Facebook Live, then that link has just been pasted on the live as well. For anyone, and actually I'm going to show the form too, so everybody knows what it is that it looks like. Okay. When you click on that link, it's going to open up a document in your browser. I'm going to go ahead and show that now. I want everybody to know what we're looking at. Here we go. All right, so when you open up that link, it's going to look like this. It's going to say Sage Men 90-day rights. So if you have paid your deposit, thank you. We have received that. If you have not, the information is here. You can pay a number of different ways. Anybody who just needs more information, feel free to reach out to us, thesagemen.com. Now, everyone needs to fill out a registration link. So you're going to click on the link here. It's going to open up the form, and there's some basic information that we need from you in order for you to participate in the program. When we have received your registration form and your deposit, then we'll send you a confirmation that lets you know that you are officially in the program. So again, click on that link if you're on the Zoom or on the Facebook chat or the live. And if you need any additional information, or if you can't get to the link right now, then feel free to email thesagemen@gmail.com, and we'll make sure that you get the information that you need. For the brothers who are in the program already, take note of the exercises. Begin to practice these on your own. All right. Take note of the questions that you were asked. Make sure that you have those documented and you start to reflect on those. So again, when we receive your registration form, you'll get your official welcome packet as well. That'll have the schedule, and we'll look forward to having you in our first check-in call. So I think that's about it in terms of signing up. If anybody else has any questions, please just make sure you reach out, or you could always drop a message in the chat on any of the platforms that you're connected to.
We give thanks. We give thanks. Exciting times. And so, the sisters out here doing great work all around the world, and we give thanks. And so that was a major inspiration for the Sage Men itself, is that men showing up as the best version of themselves, actually during the summer solstice back in 2013. I can't emphasize that enough. So many of you have seen that video, about 50 sisters and about 16 brothers, and with Emmanuel and I are really helping the brothers be the best version of themselves in that moment, going through some chi exercises, some grounding, some rooting, some alignment exercises about an hour before. And then we actually did some of what we're going to share with you over the 90 days. We just did a fraction of that, and we saw the magic that actually was able to express to the sisters. And so many sisters, they're talking through this day about the shifts that they had, the healing that they had, what they were able to let go of. And so that was really men being the best version of themselves. And so when we talk about relationship issues out there, understand that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So when you have the clarity of mind, when you have the vision, when you have the practices, when you have the internal spiritual warrior, when you have the fortification of the enterpriser and the mystic and the spiritual aspects and the tantric, you love of self and how you can be a better service and love of your family members and the women in your life, there's nothing that men cannot accomplish. And so I'm excited about that. And we're going to close right now with a prayer. Brother Emmanuel, do we have any questions for everyone? Do we have any questions?
I do see a question here. Couldn't type everything down the first time. Can you repeat the 2 questions when you get a chance? Definitely, yes. I'll repeat those quickly now. Let's see. So the 2 core fundamental questions are, number 1 is, are you grounded and rooted in your understanding of self and why it is that you do what it is that you do? Have you established core principles that motivate your behavior, right? And then the second question is, are you aware of your place within the systems of circulation and exchange that are happening around you? Are you positioned to maximize those exchanges? And I believe we are recording this, and this will be available to everyone who is registered. You will get a link so you can play this back and you can go through that. But I want to make sure, I do appreciate the question, and we wanted to make sure that we address that now. So, fundamentally, are you grounded and rooted in your concept of who you are and why it is that you do the things that you do, especially as it relates to your sexual expression and your participation in the economy? And then number 2, are you aware of your position within all of the energy and commerce and things that are circulating around you? So those are things to reflect on, and we're going to talk about those the next time that we come together. So I think that's all the questions that we have for now, and we're about at the top of the hour. So I think,
Brother Emmanuel. Yeah, Brother Khalil, you have any words of wisdom before we go? Just want to check in.
Stay strong, be humble, challenge yourself, and just embrace the inner warrior that's in yourself, that is part of your divine right and part of your DNA. We're warrior born. We come from war. We come from warrior societies, traditionally and ancestrally, and that is in our DNA. Warriorhood is both nurture and nature, so it's in you already. Embrace the warrior in you.
Okay. All right, Brother Emmanuel.
I say. All right, let's take a moment just to again recognize the divine as we move from this particular space together. So we give thanks to the Most High God, known by many names, the creator of all things great and small, the source and the origination of all life and everything that exists. We give honor to our divine and our righteous and our ascended ancestors, those of African heritage and those within our family lines as well. We're grateful for spirit and its many manifestations. We're grateful for the influence of spirit in creating this particular avenue for our personal and collective cultivation and development. And we give thanks for this program and for the opportunity to be able to grow as a community in support of one another and with accountability. So we pray that these lessons that we've been introduced to during this particular time and space would stick with us, and we would stick with them until it is that we're able to see the full benefit. So we give thanks for this time, and we look forward to everything that is to come. With gratitude, we say Ashe, Ashe, Ashe.
Ashe.
Sure.
See y'all soon.